What's up, people? Welcome to the family. You know, without even realizing it, you intimidate people out here. Um, a lot of times you just see yourself as who you are, but you don't really understand how other people may see you. And a lot of this has to do with your aura, how you look, if you're a very attractive woman or man, your intellect, your energy, the spirit that you carry, the spirit that you walk with can make people like it could take people back because they never quite came across a person like you before. You know, obviously when you meet new people, you don't know what you're gonna get. But if you could resonate with this message, with this video, when you vibrate really high and you carry a strong presence with you, and you're grounded in who you are, you know who you are, you're enlightened, um, you're very ambitious, you may be aggressive. People can sense that energy from you, and it can make them kind of like, whoa. Um, it can intimidate them. It can put them in a mental position where they feel like they have to tread lightly around you, or they don't know how to handle you. It can make people feel inadequate. Sometimes you may feel make people feel inadequate because you just vibrate higher. Not necessarily that you're superior to them, anything like that, but people can sense your energy when you walk into a room, and it could kind of make, especially people that are maybe shy, or they're used to being around people that they can control, or people that they perceive as inferior to them. Now when you walk with that energy, it's like, whoa, what is this? Because you challenge preconceived notions about, what a man's supposed to be, what a woman's supposed to be. um your aura is very strong, right? And so they have to handle you differently. They understand that you're not the average person that they've come across, right? You're not the average woman. You're not the average man. You walk with power, and you know who you are. So it can make people draw a comparison to you, looking at you up and down. They probably measuring you. If they have a conversation with you and they kind of figure out what you have going on in your life, in their mind, a lot of people do this. They'll compare their lives to yours. They'll compare their how they look to you in comparison to how they look. They'll compare how they look to you. They'll compare their intellect to you. It just becomes comparison, and that's the thief of all joy. And that's what makes people intimidated, because nobody really likes to be around somebody that they feel is better than them. Most people, right? Been around a lot of, been in a lot of friend groups, and it's always that one sometimes that got a problem with you, or it's always a person somewhere that has an issue with you. You haven't done anything to them, but it's what you represent. Your independence, your strength, your ambition, your confidence, your aura can make very insecure people triggered. You trigger them because they're comparing themselves to you and say, damn, why don't I have that? Why don't I shine like that? Why don't I have that energy? Your ambition makes them feel lazy. Your aggression towards what you want makes them feel like they're not being on point, or they're not up to par. Um, the way you affect rooms, if people gravitate towards you, and then when you walk into the room, you're like the light of the room, and people like you. People want to be around you. People want to interact with you. But when they come in, it's like silence. So it makes them feel like, damn, why am I not getting that response? What's up with this? You know what I'm saying? And they have a hard time dealing with this, especially when you're around, like when you're literally around them. They just get mad, because they're like, why don't I get that type of response from the world? And this intimidation, what starts initially as intimidation, it grows into anger, resentment. Then it grows to jealousy. Then it grows to envy. Then they're talking about you. Then they're bad mouthing you. Then they're gossiping you. Then if you have something going on that they're aware of, they'll try to sabotage you. But it's all stems from, it doesn't even come from you. You did nothing to them. Sometimes you may say to yourself, man, why does this person have a problem with me? I did nothing to them. That's because your presence bothers them. And it is really intimidation because they admire you, but they don't understand why they don't possess those qualities and traits that allows them to affect rooms or situations or people, or they wish they had those qualities because they believe if they adopted your qualities, their life will be better because they'll be vibrated higher. They'll be stronger in certain areas. Um, Again, most people don't want to see anyone be better than them. So when people perceive you, it's not that you walking around thinking that you're better than them. I personally don't walk around with that mentality of like, I don't really compare myself to people like that. But a lot of people may compare themselves to you. And a lot of this comes from insecurity and already feeling inadequate because you have to say to yourself, if you're grounded in who you are, if you insecure in who you are, right? Why are you walking around comparing yourself to everyone you meet? That shouldn't even matter that much because most importantly, it's how you think about yourself, not how you feel about yourself in comparison or in relation to somebody else. But this is how these people walk around because they're insecure. They're not really stable and grounded in who they are. Um, but what does make them feel better is having a sense of superiority, feeling like they're better than everybody, feeling like they're on the top of the totem pole as it relates to status and how their name is talked about, they're following on social media, etc. You mess all that up because you vibrate high, maybe you're very smart, talented person, gifted, and it's just in your aura. People can tell that there's something different about you or there's something special about you. And so you stand out in that way, right? Even if initially you may look like just another person, after they realize who you are and they kind of get the game on who you are, they're like, whoa, like what the hell? Now they're forced to like reflect and judge themselves in comparison to you. Um, this is intimidating for them because they like to believe that they're better than everybody. Like I said, this can grow into issues, but especially in relationships, on jobs, I've been on job interviews and situations to where the manager, like when people are intimidated by you, people will try to humble you. This happens a lot on jobs with your manager, your boss, sometimes coworkers, to where people, when they feel like you're very advanced, they will try to knock you down a couple of notches to put you in your place because you're not supposed to think highly of yourself. A lot of people are intimidated by the simple confidence that you carry yourself with because in their mind, if you're too confident, they can't control you. If you're too confident, they don't feel superior to you. If you're too confident, they feel like you may start thinking more highly of yourself and realize you're better than the situation that you're in, and you may work towards it or outright leave. They don't want you to think that way. They want to keep you humble. They want to humble you so that you don't see yourself as any better than that relationship, the situation, career, job, whatever, right? That's what people that are intimidated by you will try to do. They will try to humble you because that's what intimidates them about you. Your confidence, your aura, your ambition, your intelligence, your drive, some gifts or talents that you have. That unsettles them because that makes them feel inferior to you. Without you even doing anything, without you even realizing it, that gives them that sparks or triggers or stimulates a sense of inferiority for them. And like I said, like I've been saying, one thing people do not like is when they see or believe that somebody is better than them. They hate that because people want to feel like the ego wants you to believe that you're bigger than everybody, that you're the best thing since sliced bread, that you're superior. So you shatter that ego. You really destroy that ego of them, and they don't know how to handle it because their ego is tied to their identity. So now they have to reflect on who they are because they walk around thinking they're big and bad and better and smarter and sharper, and they run into somebody like you that vibrate high, and you're really great at what you do, or talented, or gifted, or really attractive, and they walk around thinking they better than everybody. And so when you come around, that destroys their ego and it shatters their identity. It's almost like a mirror when you're looking at a mirror, but the mirror is cracked. The mirror is broken. The mirror is shattered. So now they kind of can't see themselves fully as who they thought they were, because who you are destroys that illusion. They had an illusion of superiority, so who you are shattered that illusion. It bruised that ego. So now they have to go back and reflect on who they really are, because when they look at themselves in comparison to you, they say to themselves, man, maybe I'm not who I thought I was. This has nothing to do with you. It literally had, you didn't do anything to these people. And that's why I always advise people to protect your energy. It's something that I say, it's a saying in general, but you really have to take that seriously, because I go through that a lot. I've been through that a lot. And it causes problems. You should know how to deal with these problems. But when you sense this, when you pick up on like people kind of feeling insecure around you, or they acting funny, or the vibe is weird, you may be getting some negative vibe from them, or some, they kind of looking at you funny, or you getting just picking up negative energy. Read it as it is. Don't look in the betterment of people. Don't see the goodness in nobody. Don't overthink it or overlook it. Just see it as for what it is and deal with it accordingly. Like they say, it's better to be safe than sorry. It has nothing to do with you though. So hit the like button, man. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Do you feel you've gotten these responses from people that you felt were bothered by you, or intimidated by you, or triggered by you? Let me know what you think. Subscribe. See you on the next one, man. Peace.